Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of Building the Jedi Temple in Lego. This is the first episode in a build series where we're going to go through week by week and build an absolutely huge Jedi Temple Moc from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I'm super excited to get onto this. It's something I want to do for a long time, and now I think we're in a good spot with figures, with sets that are out, with parts and resources to actually build a huge Jedi Temple Moc. Now, it's going to include iconic scenes such as the 501st marching up to the steps of the temple. I want to do both the outside and the inside of the temple. We're going to have LED lights spread right the way through it, and because I really think that elevates a Moc build when you include things like lights. And I'm really excited to get onto it. Now, I don't want to keep you waiting, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into Moc build and straight into it, and yeah, let's go. Right, so this is what I've done at the moment. This is what I have built. This is just the front area of the temple. It's going to be extended far back. It's going to have the large pillars at the front door. You're going to have a door that goes right into the temple, where there's going to be this giant battle and a big interior and multiple floors. Now, starting with the outside was what I wanted to do. I didn't want to build the inside and then move to it and it be like this long kind of, tedious process. I wanted to get rid and done with the outside as soon as possible so I can get to the fun stuff, which is the inside. Now, something I've tried to do is to keep it as size accurate, proportional as I can. Now, of course, I can't create a giant Jedi temple because it's absolutely huge. There's no way it'd be physically able to do. I know David Hall's made his own Jedi temple on YouTube. He's made his own one, which is absolutely massive, but even then, that's not minifigure scale. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a section, not the whole temple, but it will be as minifigure scale as possible. Now, as you can see here, I've got a few 501st clones that are marching up the steps. I included these here just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. This will be the scene where Anakin and the 501st march up into the temple. Anakin will be at the front just over there. And of course, I'm going to put more clone troopers marching up as well. Now, the steps are as accurate as I can get them. If you go back and look at reference images for the Jedi Temple, what you'll see is that they have like 3 or 4 steps that lead up, and then there's about maybe a foot, 2 foot kind of gap, this flat area here, before then there's more steps, and so the pattern continues right the way up into the temple. There's then a flat area followed by larger, thicker steps. So I've actually used just these flat tiles, these light bluish grey tiles for the larger steps, and then I've actually covered the edges of them to make it look like smaller ones. So these are just the exact same tiles, but then there's one placed halfway over the middle and so forth. It's only by 1 stud, and that way it makes it look like that they're smaller tiles, whilst keeping the whole pattern and the straight lines that are going through the floor there. I didn't want to just put any long tiles, thin tiles, different sizes there, and have it be all jumbled and a bit of a mess. I wanted it to be very uniform, so using all of these was absolutely the right call. Now, there are these giant statues at the front of the Jedi Temple. They have these big concrete stone pillars, these bases, so at the bottom of them, that prop them up. I've just managed to get this one done. Haven't started on the other one yet, but they're what sits at the bottom of the statue. The statue is then this bronze khaki gold color. Now, I'm going to use dark tan. I think it just fits best. I think it just looks what's best for the Moc. And I'm going to use actual curved Lego pieces to make the statue. I don't want to use any other real technique. I've seen some people use Lego figures, but have them all be maybe tan or something like that. I've seen people make them in different ways, and I don't really want to go that route. I want to make them look like Lego, but also look just really different. And so I think at the minute, for the bottom of a Jedi robe, I think this is looking really good. If you imagine something like Palpatine's robe, ironically, then at the bottom of it, I think at the minute that's looking kind of good. So we'll have that mimicked on the other side as well. Now, there are these giant triangular stone things that protrude from the front of the base of the statues. This one isn't finished just yet. It needs to be tiled off and look a lot nicer. But I've had to use these grey wedge plates just to get that same look. I probably could have used a different technique, but this is what I had in my inventory, and I think it works. The top needs tiling, but I think it works. So yeah, this is just the front of it at the moment. It's obviously going to be more grey base plates and go further back into the temple. Now, I've also been making use of these blue plates. Now, these are actually plates that have been cut in half because my table is really long. So I couldn't cover the whole thing with just these grey base plates. I've had to use other base plates. So I've mapped the entire thing out and I've got enough. And these blue base plates, which I've cut in half and measured, will fit onto the table just to make use of all the space that we can. And lastly, for today's episode, what we have is minifigures. Now, we're going to be using a large variety of figures, ranging from already established characters in the shows and movie, such as Keller and Beck, which you can see on the right-hand side there. We'll also have Shark T, and of course, Anakin Skywalker, but also to Jedi that are custom and I've made myself, such as the one on the left. What you can see here is that I've used Kit Fisto's body, his torso, but added the cape from a Boba Fett that came in the early 2010s, as well as a random Lego head that which expression fit the situation, and a random Lego hairpiece, just to make it look like a unique Jedi and not to look like too many of the same characters or anything like that. We're of course going to have a large number of clone troopers. Phase 2 501st clone troopers are going to be the ones that are exclusively inside the Jedi Temple. I might add some specialists in there as well. We'll have to see. Outside the temple on speeder bikes, we're going to have Coruscant Guard as well as regular Phase 2 plain white clone troopers, just because these are seen in The Mandalorian Season 3. You see these different versions of clone troopers outside the temple, also engaging in Order 66. So I want to represent them as well. And I also think it's nice to use not just 501st troopers, but inside the temple will just be the 501st, because they're the only ones that actually take part in the battle inside. Yeah, we're going to get into minifigures and we're going to show a lot more in the next episode. That's something that I'm really going to get done early, is establishing all of the minifigures that will be used. So if you tune into the next episode, you'll be able to see them. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching today. This was episode 1. I had a lot of fun setting everything up and making the build and getting started and showing you guys what I had to begin with. And I can't wait to see what the build actually looks like in the end. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.